I've got a question. What is the future of filmmaking? Specifically around AI, because there's a lot of fear and uncertainty going on within the industry, and there's a lot of people who I've spoken to personally who have said, why would I invest my time into learning how to edit when all of these AI editing tools are coming out? Why would I invest my time to learn how to be a graphic designer or an artist when I could just type something into Midjourney? Clearly, we're in the middle of this crazy shift within technology and within creativity. But don't be scared or confused, because today I'm going to show you how you can navigate this change and how you can still come out on top and be the filmmaker that you've always dreamed of being. Welcome into the Fanorama. Hey everyone, my name is Peter. I'm an Emmy Award-winning filmmaker. I've been working in and out of the industry for over 15 years. I'm currently a creative director full-time, as well as a freelance filmmaker, editor, and writer. And I've got a little bit of fear behind this new AI technology that's going to come and take my job, but I'm more optimistic than I am pessimistic, because I do have hope for the future. All it's going to take is a little bit of effort. Obviously, we never thought that a computer would be able to be creative, but when you look at tools like ChatGPT and Midjourney and all the other millions of other projects that are coming out nowadays, it's pretty clear that the traditional film path is dead. You can go move to Hollywood, starting at the lowest ranks, working your way up, getting coffee for all the directors and producers, and eventually maybe getting into a role where you can learn the skills and work your way up the ladder so that you could become, let's say, a cinematographer or an editor or a writer. But all of that changed in the early 2000s when digital cameras became available and distribution became available for everyone with social media platforms like YouTube. So why would you want to go through that traditional route, working your way up the ranks in a Hollywood system, especially when you see the lackluster storytelling within the Hollywood studio system nowadays? Now, when all of these tools became available to the public, it kind of got rid of these gatekeepers within Hollywood because it allowed the normal layman person to produce a film and distribute it themselves and get eyes on it. Now, for the first few years, the quality of the films that we could produce were not nearly as good as the quality that Hollywood could produce. So there wasn't as much fear and uncertainty within that studio system. But now, as I'm sure most of you have noticed, the fear is coming out. With all of these new creative AI tools, what will my job look like in 3 or 5 or 10 years? As someone who is a filmmaker, as someone who is a writer and an editor and a creative director, what will my role be when you can just type into a computer, write me a script about blah, 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 capture drone footage of blah, 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 cut together this blah, 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 blah. If the robots can do it, then why would anybody pay me to do it? And I'm sure this is the question that a lot of us are having. Now, in order to come up with the right answer to this existential question, we need to look back at history. Let's say the early 1900s, when a new type of technology came on the scene called an automobile. Before cars became a thing, everybody rode horses. That's how you got around. You either walked or you rode on a horse. And clearly, because everybody was riding horses, there was a huge industry behind raising horses, maintaining horses, building carriages that the horses can pull, clearing off the crap from the streets that the horses left behind. There were thousands of people being supported within this industry. It was a huge part of the economy. And then cars. Clearly, there was a lot of fear and uncertainty when there was this technological shift back then because so many people were out of a job. Almost overnight, the entire horse industry went away. People didn't buy horses anymore. Why buy a horse and maintain it and have to clean it and have to feed it and have to house it and have to worry about its health when you can buy a car that essentially got rid of all of those concerns? I think that the AI revolution will work very similar to this automobile revolution. Now, those of us who are filmmakers have different specialties within filmmaking. Some of us are writers, like me. I love to write because you get to craft a story out of nothing. Some of us are cinematographers. We love the technical side of capturing an image, lighting an image, getting the most clear, crisp, and emotional action from our actors or from our scene. Some of us are editors. As an editor, you're able to take hundreds of hours of footage and cut it together into a coherent story that elicits an emotion to somebody, to an audience, you're the final person who touches this story, and you can craft it in any way that you want. There are so many hands that go into making a film, and I can see why there's so much fear, because essentially all of those people could be out of work. Now, how do you and I deal with this change? Well, we could do two things. We could either change careers, fall into a depression, do something that we hate, lose our passion for filmmaking, complain about it all the time, and then get on a universal basic income or some crap like that. Or we can adapt. Be the director. Think about the role of a traditional director. Are they in the writing room, crafting the story and all of the details? They rely on the writer to do that. Are they the ones picking up the camera, lighting the scene, capturing that crisp, beautiful image? Sometimes, but a lot of the times, the director tells the cinematographer what image that they want, what's going on in their head, and the cinematographer captures that image because they are the expert within capturing the image. Does a director sit in the editing room and cut together the film? Most of the time, the director is giving direction to the editor and telling them what they want and what's in their head. Just like in the early 2000s, when we democratized the capturing, the editing, and the distribution of films with all of these new technological tools, this new AI creative technological revolution will streamline the filmmaking process. But you have to learn to be the director. You can use these tools to capture what's going on in your head, but you have to know how to direct. You have to know how to explain the images that are going on in your head, not only to another person, which you would have traditionally had to do, but now to a computer, to these AI systems. So you can still be the filmmaker that you've always wanted to be. You can still make creative, amazing stories and distribute them to everybody all around the world. And it's going to get easier than ever, because now you don't have to have a team of people behind you. The only person who you have to rely on is yourself. So that being said, there are a few caveats in my mind about this whole transition within filmmaking. Films that are made with the collaboration of people, films that are written traditionally, captured and edited traditionally, I think they're still going to have an advantage over the AI stuff. But let me tell you a little bit about my story and where I am within my filmmaking journey. Because for the past 15 years, I've been honing my skills, trying to become a better cinematographer, because if you give me a camera, I'm not going to capture a great image. But if you gave me a blank piece of paper, I can write an amazing story. And if you gave me thousands of hours of footage, I can edit an amazing film. But I'm terrible with capturing footage. And I've met a lot of talented people out there who are really good at capturing footage, but in order to collaborate and coordinate our efforts, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. I have a family. I work 2 jobs. How am I supposed to find the time and the effort and the energy and the money in order to collaborate with people? Well, once again, if you're able to do that, the product will turn out better. But if you're not able to do that, like I am in that position right now, then you can use these tools in order to still get your story out, because it's better to make it and release it than it to just die in your head or on a scrap piece of paper in your drawer. So, what's the future of filmmaking? Well, we are going to lose certain specialties. There are going to be people within the film industry who lose their jobs. But if you can adapt and learn to become a director and direct these machines to capture what's going on in your head and to create something that you can release out into the world, then you will survive as a filmmaker. So don't be scared to continue your journey and to keep investing your time and your effort and your money into honing these skills of creating films, because entertainment and education is always going to be a part of the human experience. So keep honing your skills and learn to adapt and change with the times. If you got value from this video and you love filmmaking, film, entertainment, and storytelling, please subscribe to this channel and like this video, and I'll see you on the next one.